All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I want to talk about today is just learning one thing can change your entire outlook on fitness. Now, if you watch any of my previous videos, listen to any of my podcasts, I'm all about experimenting, right? I talk about going in the gym, possibly trying one new thing every time you work out, or out of the gym. I don't care, wherever you work out, trying something new every time you go. It doesn't have to be extreme, it could be very small. Also, regardless if it's in or out of the gym, trying new things in general, not burning out on one thing. So for instance, if you're always going to the gym and you're burning out, maybe you might want to try something else. It could be basketball, running, it could be swimming, whatever the case may be. Start learning other aspects of fitness and exercise. But what I want to talk about in this specifically is something that I learned at a very young age, and I was very fortunate. Back in high school, I think I was either a freshman or sophomore, we had a very small weight room. I mean, literally it only had like 2 flat benches, 1 or 2 squat racks, and mind you, this is the 80s, so it's very old. One of those, like, lat machines in the middle, and a leg curl or leg extensions for quad, and I think one for hamstrings. So one of our quarterbacks ended up damaging his knee. So I was in there, not necessarily working out with him, but watching him. And on the leg curl for quads, he started doing one leg. That was the knee that was hurt. He was just trying to build up his strength back in it. I don't know if he had a surgery or not. I can't remember. This is 30 years ago. But I remember sitting there and just thinking, wow, he's doing one leg at a time. I never thought about it at that point in time. All I ever really knew about exercising, just in general for the most part, was using your entire body. So for instance, for squatting. Squatting, I only obviously squatted with both legs. Even if I bench pressed, I usually would use a straight bar. Sure, I would use dumbbells, but I didn't think about that as working each side individually. I just looked at it as one unit. So at that very moment, I started thinking, he is doing one leg to strengthen it, right, to get his strength back. How about I do that with both of my legs, right? How about I do that with my entire body? I start focusing in, not as an entire whole, I guess you could say, kind of splitting my body down the middle and building strength individually. All right, because a lot of times, let's say I'll just use legs, for instance. If I did leg curls for quads, I used both legs. If I did leg curls or leg extensions for hamstrings, I'd use both legs. So to make a long story short, I started experimenting and trying one-legged type workouts for legs. I did this with my upper body eventually as well, especially with dumbbells like a lot of us, but I never seen anyone do it with legs. So I was really starting to build some momentum, just doing one leg at a time. What I started to do was work out my legs every other workout individually, not just going in and squatting every time or using a leg press machine or a hamstring or whatever the case may be. I started focusing in just one leg at a time. And I could not believe the gains I started to get. So what I realized was it wasn't necessarily just about like learning something new. I also started to develop into something new entirely physically. As I started to do the one-legged workout, I just developed into a totally different specimen. I'm not exaggerating when I say that compared to everyone else. Even in high school, I was only like, say, 5'4", 5'5". I was dunking a volleyball, which is pretty, for somebody who's that short. I was also starting to squat a lot of weight. And especially as I got older, one of the things people used to ask me the most was, how come you can squat so much weight? How can you, on a leg press, how can you push so much weight? The truth was, I think by me just working, my legs independently one at a time, year after year, I built a different type of strength and foundation. I'm telling you right now. Now, I'm just using legs for an example. But again, I think this too, a lot of times when it comes to fitness, one side of our body, just like righty or lefty, is stronger than another. When you start doing something individually, in my eyes, it balanced me out. You get exposed really quick. What leg is stronger than the other? What calf is stronger than the other? What quad? What ham? Whatever the case may be. But the reason I use this for an example is you may be doing a lot of things in fitness, right? And you may be stuck in a certain spot. You're not getting certain, maybe results. Or you just want to get a little more creative. Really research and study different things when it comes to fitness. I know I talk about this a lot. But here's the thing. You got to find specifically, again, what works for you. And incorporating it. And don't expect results to happen in weeks or even months, I tell people, even a year to develop. With my leg situation, I really didn't realize all the strength I had until really, say, my late teens and then early 20s when it came to my legs. And I was obviously getting stronger and stronger. There's no question about that. But it really just started to catapult at a certain point in time. And I really believe, again, if I didn't learn, or just that one day focusing in and learning on how to do that, my whole life would have been different. I don't think I would have had the strength in my legs. I wouldn't have had even the balance or coordination. So I just want to do a quick video on this, but please pay attention, man. Just certain one little things, you can learn that can change the entire dynamic of whatever you're doing. That could be in or out of a gym. It can be a certain grip, right? When you're working on, it could be a certain way you're running. It could be a certain way. I don't care if you're doing crew, swimming. Sometimes there's these little like sweet spots. It's not just also what you're learning about like a certain, I guess you could say, way to do things. It's how it reacts to you specifically in your body. We can try multiple things, and a lot of times they don't work. I'm always talking about the one rule thing, but there could be one thing, I promise you, that can be a game changer between getting, really great results compared to kind of being standard a lot of times like everyone else. And the reason I brought this up is I was just doing legs, and I seen a guy doing one leg at a time like I am, and he was showing his buddy, he was training him, and he said, hey, I used to do this in hockey. Nobody else ever does it. One leg at a time. And I'm thinking my whole life I've been doing one leg at a time. So he did it for hockey. I don't know where he's from, but to get a balance, I guess, on the ice. And I thought about it in my life, like I did one leg at a time to get bigger and stronger and be able to jump more. And that's the one thing I will wrap it up with. I started to also do one-legged jumps a lot of times because I had a lot of strength even when I was younger, say jumping with both legs, but I really didn't have that strength going off of one leg or actually on individual legs, right and left. I was pretty good jumping off one more than the other. And again, all those type of things just started to flow for me. So not only did I get bigger, stronger, I could, like I said earlier, I could jump higher, and I also had a lot of flexibility because I was also stretching a lot more my leg individually as well while I was working out. So enough. All right, if you get a chance, check out my podcast, The Rich Celenza Show. I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You get a chance, subscribe. And if you got any questions, comments, or want me to talk about anything, throw it at me. I'll just give you my advice on what I know. And believe me, I am no expert by any means, but I definitely think I can help people maybe look at fitness in a different way than maybe they ever did before. All right, take care.